Every woman evaluates a man not through what she says, but through how she behaves. And if you don't recognize what's really happening beneath the surface, you can fail without ever realizing why. In this video, you'll learn exactly what to observe when a woman begins to invest her time, her attention, and her emotional openness in you. She won't announce it directly. She won't say, "I'm ready." Instead, her behavior speaks far louder than words. And if you're truly paying attention, you'll begin to notice the patterns. These signals are quiet, refined, and often hidden inside emotion, instinct, and subtle psychology. Many men miss them because they expect something obvious, but real attraction rarely shows up that way. It exists in the pauses, in eye contact, in the way she behaves when nothing physical is even happening. Welcome to Psychology of Desire. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because every video breaks down the deeper truths of attraction, emotional behavior, and the things women rarely say out loud about connection and attachment. And if you've been here before, you already understand how real this gets. So listen carefully. Every woman is different. Her personality, her past, her confidence level. But despite those differences, attraction often follows similar patterns. Not because she learned them, but because biologically and emotionally her body responds before her mind fully processes what's happening. One of the first signs shows up in her presence. Watch how she positions herself around you. A woman who isn't interested keeps distance. She protects her space. But a woman who feels drawn to you will naturally move closer, subtly, almost unconsciously. She sits nearer than necessary. She lingers. Even in a group setting, her body slowly turns toward yours. There's a quiet pull, like gravity. Her mind might try to stay composed, but her body reveals the truth. And it's not just about physical proximity, it's about comfort. Her tone softens. She laughs more freely. Her guard lowers. The tension that's usually there when she's unsure begins to disappear. When a woman feels something for you, that protective layer fades on its own. Then come her eyes. Most people assume desire looks like intense staring, but in reality, it's often the opposite. One of the strongest indicators is when she looks at you and then quickly looks away. That brief, shy break in eye contact is powerful. It means you made her feel something she wasn't ready to reveal. Her reaction happens before she can control it. That's why attraction can feel delicate, almost fragile. She might glance at your lips while you speak. She might play with her hair, touch her neck, or shift slightly in your presence. These are subconscious cues, her body expressing what her words won't. And if she begins to trust you, you'll notice something deeper. She opens up, but not in a surface level way. She shares pieces of herself she doesn't give to just anyone. Her fears, her past, her vulnerabilities. Because for a woman, connection isn't just physical, it's emotional and psychological. She needs to feel safe, understood, and respected. If she starts revealing her inner world, even gradually, she's moving towards something more meaningful. Another powerful sign appears when she begins imagining you in her life. She asks questions like, "Yo, imo, ine, what would you do if, or how would you feel about?" These aren't random, they're intentional. She's trying to understand how you think, how you respond, and whether you fit into her future. Women don't choose lightly. And when she's close to choosing you, she starts mentally placing you in her world. These signals aren't loud, but they're significant. And most men overlook them, waiting for something obvious. But by the time it becomes obvious, the moment has often passed. When a woman feels something real, she expresses it in ways she can deny verbally, but not behaviorally. One clear indicator is how her energy shifts around you. It's not exaggerated, but it's noticeable. With others, she may be calm or reserved. But with you, there's a spark. Her tone changes, her reactions become more expressive. Even simple eye contact carries emotional weight. She might become playful, slightly sarcastic, or unexpectedly shy. That shift matters. Here's where psychology becomes even more revealing. A woman only feels nervous around someone who matters to her. If she's completely relaxed and unaffected, there's likely no deeper attraction. But if she's trying to appear confident while managing an internal emotional response, that's where desire lives. Her breathing may change. Her posture may shift. She becomes more aware of herself. Not because she's unsure, but because she feels something she can't ignore. Another sign is touch. Not obvious, deliberate touch, but small, almost accidental contact. A brush of the hand, adjusting something on you. Light, casual interaction that isn't really accidental. Women don't initiate physical contact without reason. It's a subtle way of testing comfort, connection, and safety. She's exploring how it feels to be close to you without fully committing to it yet. Then comes the emotional shift. When she's truly interested, she becomes more understanding. She lets small things go. She values your perspective more than usual. Your opinion begins to matter. This isn't random, it's influence. Women don't open up like this to someone they don't respect. There's also a more complex layer. Sometimes her behavior becomes inconsistent. She might pull away briefly, then return even more engaged. She may seem distant one moment, then warm the next. This isn't confusion, it's internal conflict. She's managing feelings that are stronger than she expected. That push and pull is often a sign she's trying to stay in control while being pulled in emotionally. Another overlooked detail, she starts observing you more closely. Not just physically, but mentally. She studies your reactions, your values, your emotional depth. She wants to understand who you really are because she can't fully open herself to someone she doesn't understand. If you've ever caught her looking at you when she thought you weren't paying attention, that matters. She's not just looking, she's learning. Women pay attention to the men they feel drawn to in a quiet but intense way. Then there's anticipation. She looks forward to interacting with you. She checks her phone more often. She replies quickly, even if she pretends not to care. She remembers details you mentioned casually. That's not coincidence. That's emotional investment. You might also notice she becomes more intentional about her appearance around you. Small adjustments, fixing her hair, posture, or overall presentation. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. She wants to be seen by you in a certain way. Another subtle but powerful sign is jealousy, but not in an obvious form. It appears as a slight change in tone, a brief pause, or a shift in expression when another woman is mentioned. It's controlled but real. A woman doesn't feel that way about someone she sees as temporary. Pay attention to how she responds to small physical moments. If she doesn't pull away and instead leans into the interaction, that signals comfort and trust. When she stops overthinking and starts simply feeling, that's when things become real. And right before she fully opens up, she may test you, not to create problems, but to understand you. She wants to see how you handle pressure, emotion, or uncertainty. Because for her, connection requires emotional safety, not just attraction. Another important detail is her voice. It changes. It becomes softer, more deliberate. There's care in how she speaks to you. That's not just flirting, it's emotional expression. And sometimes the strongest signal is silence. Not awkward silence, but comfortable silence. When she can sit beside you without needing to fill the space, it means her guard is down. That level of comfort is rare and meaningful. She may also begin asking deeper questions about your thoughts, your values, your experiences, not out of curiosity, but because she's trying to understand if you're someone she can trust on a deeper level. Her physical boundaries shift too. She stands closer. She allows more proximity. These are not random changes. They reflect trust. And perhaps the clearest sign, she makes time for you, even when she's busy, even when it's inconvenient. Because when a woman feels something real, she adjusts her priorities without needing to explain it. At a certain point, everything becomes more open. Her energy softens. Her behavior becomes more inviting. She stops holding back in the same way. That's when you know something has changed. Her body language, her attention, her emotional presence, they all begin to align. Not dramatically, but naturally. And the most important truth is this. When a woman truly feels safe and connected, she doesn't resist being alone with you. She seeks it. That's not accidental. That's a decision she's already made internally. These signs are never loud. They're quiet, instinctive, and deeply human. A woman doesn't need to say what she feels. Her actions reveal it. If you've ever noticed these patterns before, it wasn't your imagination. It was something real. Thank you for watching Psychology of Desire. If this helped you see things from a deeper perspective, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, desire doesn't shout. it whispers. You just have to know how to hear it.